Good morning, guys. It is a happy Wednesday, and today we are going to talk about a product that several of us have been on for me, over 15 years. And these two ladies I met about 15 years ago. I still will never forget the first time Pat Clepper walked up to me at an event. Like, she's forever my favorite person, very complimentary, makes you feel good when you meet her. And then Miss Tonya Phipps, I found out was her daughter. And we actually just went to Bali together with this company. And this seaweed product we're going to talk about has totally changed some of our lives forever. So, you guys are in Louisiana, and what area?
Louisiana.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We,
Both of you were there. So
yeah.
I would love for you guys to share with us what everybody needs to know about our Limu product.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. We're glad to be here and feel honored to be able to share with you guys about Limu. Limu is a product that I have been drinking since 2009. And the reason I started drinking, and yes, I say it like that, I drink Limu. I don't take Limu. I don't use Limu. I drink Limu. But the reason I started is because I hurt my knee on a treadmill, talking about treadmills this morning. And I woke up one morning and my knee was 3 times the size it was supposed to be. And my mama, who I trusted, she said, "You need to be drinking Limu because it will help you with your inflammation." And I said, "Okay." And so I started drinking it. And, there's anything that you start new, you need to use it for at least 90 days. But I noticed within 3 weeks that my inflammation went down in my knee. And so it has kept me out of knee surgery since 2009. And I will forever drink Limu. But I'm going to just kind of tell you what Limu is. Limu, here's the bottle of Limu. Let me get it. So 83% of this bottle is the pure Limu plant, and the other 17% is juice, apple, mango, and pear. There are 77 vitamins, nutrients, polyphenols, and amino acids, glyconutrients, and it is just really, really good for your body. Mama's going to talk about how smart the nutrient is and different things. But what I wanted to tell you, it is so many different studies out there that you can go and you can look at because it is antibacterial. It is a great antioxidant. It is great for inflammation. It is also great for anti-coagulant and anti-tumor. So, it took the scientists 15 years to get all of the nutrients and all the stuff out of the plant and put in this bottle of Limu, but keep the integrity of the plant. And I love that where it's found is the pristine waters of the Tongan Islands. And over there, it's about 80 different islands, and they're all surrounded with this seaweed that grows second to bamboo. And so whenever they hand harvest it, because there's no ship traffic allowed, and they hand harvest all of our limu. And so when they go into the sea and they hand harvest it and they bring it up, then that's when it takes them, it's taken them so long to learn how to extract everything out of the sea plant and put in the bottle of Limu. But again, it grows second to bamboo. So by the time they get around one of the island, it has already replenished itself. And we have the rights to it for the next, I think, 95 years. Go ahead. Now I'm going to turn it over to Mama. Let's see.
I started drinking Limu because my husband's blood work showed me that it was helping him because he had a pituitary tumor. And this is how I was introduced to Limu. Knock on the door from somebody in our subdivision. My husband is a developer. "Miss Clepper, I heard Mr. Clepper had a brain tumor. He needs to be drinking this stuff." And she just threw this thing at me. And I ordered 3 cases because, I'm all about nutrition. I was a dancer, and I know that I've got to take care of my body because it had to dance every day. And we were taught that in dancing was nutrition. So I got an early education on nutrition. So immediately his blood work started looking great. You know, his doctor said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, he's drinking seaweed." He said, "Keep doing it." Well, his brain tumor went from a 7.0 to a 1.2. The only thing we did different was drink Limu. So, I mean, be whatever you think it might be, but he never had to have brain surgery. So we have a thing called 20 reasons why we can drink Limu. And this 20 reasons you can tell people. The company has done this so we can tell people. So I'm going to tell you some of them, like it supports a stronger immune system. It supports healthy blood pressure. It supports liver function, metabolic function. I just looked up how many studies on PubMed.gov Central that we have on the weight loss, and it was 7,164 studies on fucoidan and weight loss. And you say, what is fucoidan? Well, fucoidan is a nutrient. We call it a super nutrient that is in Limu. And this super nutrient is really, really smart. It is so smart, the scientists told us that all it knows to do is fix things. So when you've got something going wrong, just drink your Limu. I've been drinking it for 20 years. My blood has been great for 20 years. And, you know, my doctor said, "It's your genes." I said, "No, it's not my genes." My brothers all have diabetes. They have cancer. They have all this kind of stuff wrong with them, and strokes, and daddy and mama had heart attacks and all. I'm 77, soon be 78. And I go to the doctor and he just rolls his eyes. "Why are you here?" I said, "Well, I need a checkup, you know, but I just need to prove to myself that all is well." So I've got people, when people start realizing what's in these liquid nutrients, liquid bottles that we have, and the Mo and all, this stuff, you know, when you use liquid and you put it under your tongue and you leave it there for a few minutes and then you swish it around your mouth, and the scientist says that it goes right into our bloodstream. So that's where I want it to go. My blood has got to be good. So another thing is healthy blood sugar levels, normal blood cholesterol, increase your energy, and has joint mobility, stem cell mobilization. You know, it starts helping you at the cellular level. That is huge to me. Plus, I've got people that put it on their face at night when they go to bed, and they don't have no wrinkles. So be it what it may. But Limu is not a medicine. Like Tonya says, you don't take Limu, you drink Limu. Limu is a food. And so if you can eat, you can drink Limu. If you don't have to call your doctor and tell them, you know, what you're eating every day, well, Limu is like a good salad from the ocean. And where we have this seaweed, there's only two places in the world that our particular seaweed is grown. One is in the Tongan Island. One is in Japan, which has radiation in it. So they're one of our biggest customers because ours comes from the Tongan Islands, which is surrounded by a reef, and no motorboats or engines or anything goes in that water. It's the most pristine water in the world. So here you go. This is the closest thing that you're going to get from, I always say it's the closest thing you're going to get from manna on this earth, because it comes from the ocean. And what are we, 98% water? So I call fucoidan our magic. I was talking to Dr. Plant. I said, I know what the magic is in Limu. It's fucoidan. And I was asking him about another product. I said, tell me what the magic is in here. So if you don't have a magic super nutrient, something that is really sets you apart from everything else, well, then you need to find out what the magic is, or whatever. So I'm going to tell y'all how to research. Just about every other day, I have someone call me. A lot of them are on this call right now, and they're not even from my team, but they want to know if Limu will help this, or if Limu will help that. I just say, just drink it. But then I said, would you like to research it? So right now I'm going to tell you, there are two places that you can go. It is PubMed.gov and PubMed Central. So PubMed Central is the big one. And I looked up Facording in it last night. There was over 10,119 studies on Facording. Remember, Limu has 77 vitamins, minerals, nutrients, antioxidants, everything you need to balance your body. Well, just on Facording, there was over 10,000 scientific studies. In order to be in PubMed, 3 doctors or scientists has to come to the same conclusion in order to be published in there. And this is the website that doctors and nurses go to research things. So in the big one, there was over 10,000. In the PubMed.gov, there was 3,323. So I do call Limu our magic, Facording our magic, because this little nutrient is amazing. So how do you do it? You go to PubMed.gov, and when you get there, you slash Facording. And then when it pulls up Facording and all these studies, then you put slash whatever you're looking for. Weight, whatever you're looking for. Blood pressure, blood sugar, inflammation, allergies, whatever you're looking for. If you have a medical name, put it in there. See how many studies. You want to know how to read them? What I do, I go to the end and do the summary because I'm a blonde, and that's easier for me. That doctor stuff I don't understand. But when my husband had Parkinson's, I got so much information off of PubMed.gov because letting me know what was going on, with how I could help him. So that's one of the things that we like to say. But I want you to know that you can also put Limu topical. So if you have an insect bite, like a wasp bite or anything, put it on there immediately. It takes the sting off. Also burns, you can spray it on there. Also, I've had people that when they had chemo and radiation, they were burned. My husband was one of them. I spritzed him, so he never really burned because I spritzed him with Limu every day. And so if you have a toothache, put it in your mouth. Hold it in your mouth. Don't let it get cold over there. Let it be warm when you put it on your tooth. But anyway, earache, anything that that's hurting you, just put you some Limu on it. So understand that our blue frog starts off with Limu, and also our burn starts off with a pure extract. So it's probably the healthiest thing that we've got right there with all that health. You ask me, I'm gonna tell you Limu is number 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. So when you've got something and you can show people the science and understand 3,000 years, over 3,000 years, the people in the Tongan Islands has been eating and the seaweed. It was their salad, and they don't have the diseases that we have, and they live to be over 100 years old. So if our scientists was really excited about that, and that's what made them take 15 years to take the Facording, to take the Limu plant and extract it and put it in a bottle so we can use it today. And it is chemical free, toxin free,
Cold process.
And listen to this, it still has live plant enzymes in it. So that's what I know about Limu. And also we are in health and wellness. And let me tell you something, this is over a $5 trillion industry. If you can't make a living off of our 3 major products, it's because you're not trying. Because I'm going to tell you something. I've got people that has been drinking Limu with me for 20 years, every month.
And, we have so many different stories. I mean, I'm going to just kind of tell a story about my husband too. So he used to go to the hospital and get a concoction for his migraines. And I woke up one morning and he was standing beside the bed, and I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I have another one of those migraines." And I said, and this is when we had started drinking Limu. And I said, "Well, go in there and get some Limu, put it under your tongue, get 2 ounces, hold it under your tongue as long as you can before you swallow it, and continue to do that until the 2 ounces are gone." The next morning I woke up and he was laying in the bed I just didn't know. And I reached over and I touched him and he woke up and I said, how are you? And he said, it's gone. It worked. So Limu is a product, like Mama said, that you can use it. You can drink it. You can put it on, like if you have a sore or a sunburn, you can use it topically. People use it, like she said, for your wrinkles. So it's a great, great product. And as far as age, so my daughter drank Limu and Blue Frog while being pregnant, and it just gave her the right nutrients in her body. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think I'm a dumb person, but I do think that Hayden is just very, very, very smart. I believe that the Facordin helped make his brain just help develop his brain. And so he was getting Limu for her nursing until 6 weeks of her of life, and then she decided she did not want to nurse any longer. And so I would get a syringe and put like 0.5 cc's, just a small amount, because babies do not need 2 ounces in the morning, 2 ounces at night. They are smaller than us. And so I would give him in the side of his mouth about a half a cc. And then as he grew, I gave him more and more. Now he's 13 years old, very, very smart, very athletic, and just understands so much that, it just blows me away at how much he understands. And I do contribute that to Limu. And he's never sick. I mean, like, we have ear problems, but as far as colds or flu or any of those sicknesses that children have, he's just never really been, it's never been a problem for him. So it does not matter how old you are. You can be at birth, or you can be 165,000 years old, and you can drink Limu. I hope that answers that question. Go ahead.
We're all going to be drinking a bottle a day now, but I have one last thing. And Brent Palmer, you may want to chime in on this, but I think that for those that don't know this, that what separates our energy drinks, both the Blue Frog and the Burn, is they have 2 ounces of this Fucoitin seaweed in them. So they're a very healthy energy drink. But I want to say this Fucoitin seaweed and the Burn were one of Dr. Crystal's absolute staples. That was her PowerPoint I was actually flipping through in her 167-pound weight loss journey.
Yes. So Blue Frog has 2 ounces of Limu, the mango puree in Blue Frog. And I do want to say this, that I heard this from one of our leaders, from one of the people that go to the plant, that when they bring in the products for our Blue Frog, that it is miles and miles of like the mango puree, that as far as the factory can see, it's the mango puree. And so when they bring in all the ingredients for the other energy drinks, that it is one pallet, artificial sweetener, artificial, synthetic caffeine, all the ingredients for the other products are on one pallet. And so I do know that Blue Frog is very comparable in price to the other energy drinks. But thank you for caring for us to have quality instead of just quantity, because we are getting Fucoitin every time we drink a can of Blue Frog. And as far as Burn, I talked with the scientist, and he said that what's in Burn is 2 ounces of the pure Fucoitin, and that is what the scientists drink every single morning. And they said that it tastes like shoe leather. So thank you for, thank you for putting all the other ingredients. And I do want to say one other thing about Blue Frog. So I don't say the crazy word that happened in 2020, but in 2020, there was 4 nutrients that they said that your body needed to fight off what 2020 brought. And it was vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, and quercetin. All 4 of those are found in Blue Frog. You can turn your can over and look at that. That's added, that's extra ingredients. And so praise God, I never had that problem. And they do compare Fucoitin to the colostrum in the mother's breast milk.
You guys are amazing. I do want to actually back you up on what you were saying. I took Limu and drank Blue Frog through both pregnancies. I didn't even take prenatals. Not that I recommend not taking prenatals, but I just knew how good the research was on this product. When I started taking it, it was more preventative. At that point in time, there were 1,200 studies on Ficoidin, and Pat just mentioned it has almost tripled in the last 15 years, which means it's a pretty powerful supplement. The other thing in Blue Frog is it has nootropics in it, which is really good for the brain. Research nootropics. Every morning on the way to school, I take one of these and I drink it till it gets about a third of the way, and my boys split the bottom of it before they walk into school for the day to help them focus and kind of get through their day. Burn, I say, is like a 5-in-1. It's an appetite suppressant. Energy, fiber, collagen, protein, and weight management all in one can. It's just a go-to. But the other thing is, my little boy had his tonsils out a little less than a year ago, and I made popsicles out of this. And I mixed it with apple juice to kind of stretch it because it was kind of expensive to make a popsicle. But they have requested more popsicles. But my son's tonsils, adenoids, and tubes, we had a really quick recovery. So when I asked them if they could have one meal, whatever meal they wanted, they asked for Limu popsicles. They said, we know they were kind of expensive. Will you make them again? So people have asked a lot, what does it taste like? It's literally like a mango apple juice. So if taste is important to you, this is the one kids really love because it tastes like apple juice. I mean, a lot like apple juice, but it does amazing things. The research is there. And my kids are not sick. I mean, I didn't even know our nurse practitioner worked at the doctor's office for 18 months before I ran into her. She was a friend from high school because we had not been in there. So I highly recommend taking it. Thank you, Tonya. Thank you, Pat. Hope you guys go out and get you some Limu today.